What's up, budget buddies? It's Kim. Welcome to Debt to None. I'm so happy to have you here. First off, I really want to thank all of you that gave me such encouragement on my last upload. I have to say, I really did need it. I did not mean to melt down the way I did in that moment, but it happens. But I appreciate you guys being so supportive and so encouraging and so understanding. So this video, I want to show you what I've come up with, how I'm going to get that extra debt that I've just acquired paid off this year, and how I'm also going to continue to save money because I recognize that my problem, thankfully, it's not frivolous spending. It's not bad money habits. I am more responsible now handling money. But my problem is the emergency fund, not having a large emergency fund that can cover large expenses that are very necessary. I don't make that much money. I definitely am of the group of people that is living on a modest income. I was saying low income, but I don't know if that's accurate, but it's pretty modest. So with my employment, I believe I bring in just under $3,000 a month. And then my husband does give me money every month towards the bills, which is he gives me about $650, I want to say. I will say I'm pretty good with saving money when it's something that I put my mind to. I've been that way ever since I was a kid. So with all that being said, I will tell you right now, end of January, we're wrapping up this month. It looks like if barring any huge expenses between now and the end of the month, it looks like I'll be rolling over about $5,000 in my checking account, which is outstanding. And for those of you that have been here before and you're familiar with the goals that I'm working towards, I'm trying to get to a rollover amount of $10,000. That rollover will also act as like an emergency fund type thing, but it's something that I want just regularly to have in my checking account, $10,000. Why my checking account and not my savings? It's just because my checking account is giving me 4% interest right now. And so that's where I like to keep it. And then again, I'm no longer a big spender. So it's okay. It's safe in the checking. So saying that, when I show you the numbers, some of these debt payments towards, these credit cards are a little bit high because I right now I have a little bit of a larger rollover than I did, some months ago. And I'm anticipating that rollover to just continue to grow, which will help me get this debt paid off. However, I don't want to just throw it all towards debt. So moving forward, though I really want to get rid of this $16,000 worth of debt as soon as possible, I recognize that bulking up that emergency fund has to be a priority as well. Otherwise, it's going to be the same cycle. Last year it was my roof. This year that just started, it's my teeth. So yeah, we need to fix that. So let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. So once again, I have 5 credit balances open, and everything is under $3,000 except for that personal loan. So let's talk about it. I'm planning to focus on that personal loan because I am someone that is about math. I watched I was a big fan of the Ramsey show. I don't really have the time to watch it as much as I was. And I know on that show, they would say like getting out of debt. I forgot how to quote them exactly, but it's like not about the math. It's about the, like your money habits, like, retraining yourself with money, which I totally agree with that for sure. Because no matter how you work out the math in your best interest, so you could save, the most money while you're paying off debt. If you haven't attacked that core problem, if you haven't taken care of the root of the issue, which is, how you handle money, then it's going to be the same cycle all over again. So I do agree with that. But for me, it's not about that any longer, thankfully. The shift in my mindset with money has already taken place. So right now, I'll just tell you, I'm about the math. I attack the interest. Any debts that are accruing interest, I'm going to attack that first, So starting in February, of course, we're going to go ahead and attack that personal loan that right now has an 8.25 interest rate on it. I plan to just throw $2,000 towards that. I'm banking, the reason why that's large, I'm banking on getting some money back from a tax refund because I claim, earned income credit. It's not because I'm, paying too little in taxes. Yeah. So I'm banking on that. And then my usual chunky payment of $1,000 towards debt. So hopefully I'll be able to get that down to 5. How I also do that is I do factor in the interest that I'm kind of guesstimating. So you'll see like these little charges or these added numbers in pink along the way. And that's what I'm estimating the interest. I'm actually overestimating, hopefully, what the interest will be, but I want to make sure I cover that amount as well so I can get it down to the balance that I want it to be at. So $2,000 in February, and then $1,035, that 35, probably something like that for the interest in March. Keep going. In April, 428. In May, 625. In June, 321. And then July, 719. So then at the end of July, for that personal loan, I'm anticipating having around $2,000 or having a $2,000 balance. Then I'm just going to go ahead and pay it off those next 2 months. So we'll do like $1,000 in August and then the $1,000 in September. And so we can just September, that personal loan is done away with completely. The way I factored out that math, it will be with interest that I will be paying about $150 worth of interest. I'm going to say that I feel like that's really good for me. I hate that I took on this debt, but I will just say, when I was standing in the dentist's office and they were like, okay, you can pay this amount right now, or you can make payment plans and we'll work with you, whatever you can afford, but it will be this amount. That's why I didn't set up a payment plan with my dentist. I don't like being charged extra for anything. Who does, right? So I threw it on my credit card, which is like a 22% interest, I'm sure, or something like that. Ran home, well, when I got home, called my credit union, opened up a personal loan at 8.25%, and then pulled that money off the credit card and put it in the personal loan. I'm happy that I did it that way. Number one, my teeth are going to be taken care of properly this year. I'm not going to let it slide any longer. I will keep up with it. We'll go ahead and we'll pay this expensive treatment plan. But number two, if I was to do the payment plan instead of paying in full, I would have been paying an extra $543. Well, now I'm paying an extra $150 because of interest. I can't beat that. Because if I would have done like a 0% interest, balance transfer, like I've been doing for all of these other debts, there goes a chunky fee. And, that could be, if it was $5,000, it's $250. Well, it was a $7,000 balance by the time I, paid what I paid in cash. So that's not ideal either. So this is the best route outside of just doing little by little by little by little and taking my time to get my teeth, taken care of. Now, looking at the credit cards now. So, all right. My credit union Visa, my Discover card, my Citibank card, and my Wells Fargo. The first credit card, should I say, that I'll be focusing on will be that Citibank card, because that 0% interest rate promo from the balance transfer, that expires in August. So February, all those payments will be low because of that large amount going to the personal loan. Again, in March, we're going to keep them kind of low because it's higher for the personal loan. However, I'm going to go ahead and throw $250 towards that Citibank card, hopefully, and then that'll bring me down to a balance of $1,700 at the end of March. So then in April, I'm hoping to kind of do like a split payment, a little small chunk to the personal loan and then a chunk to the Citibank card. So hopefully I'll be able to get $500 over to Citibank in April, and then that'll leave me with $1,200 left. And then in May, again, I'm going to do that split chunk to the personal loan and a chunk to Citibank. And mind you, my personal loan, the minimum payment is just $220. So every single month I'm jumping well above that. So if I throw $600 in May to that Citibank card, that will leave me with $600 balance. So then in June, yes, you guessed it, we're going to go ahead and pay off the Citibank, and I'm only going to pay $321 to my personal loan. All right, so that's fabulous, right? So then, and then after that point, I will only be dealing with, 4 balances. So I'm going to go back up and show you, because then the next in line is that credit union credit card. The reason why that's next is because that 0% interest balance transfer promo expires in November of this year. So you see in February, I'm going to send $75 to that just to get that to a nice rounded number, 2,000. And then March, April, May, $50 every month. And then when we get to June, I'm going to go ahead and send $150 to it, and then that'll bring me to a $1,700 balance. July, because that'll be my next focus outside of that personal loan. So I'll send $300 to my credit union Visa, and then you see that $719 to the personal loan. So after that, I'll be left with $1,400 balance. In August, because I'm paying a larger amount to my personal loan, I'm going to send $200 to my credit union Visa, and then that leaves me with a $1,200 balance in September, because that's when I get that CD. I'm planning to just go ahead and pay that off. That $1,200, we'll just pay it off. Okay, though that is for those 2 credit cards, and so far that personal loan, that is the plan, period. The only way I'm going to change it is if I'm able to throw even more towards these throughout the month up until September. Now, those last 2 credit cards, the Discover and the Wells Fargo, I have also mapped everything out. They're last on my list because those balance transfer promos, Wells Fargo ends in December of this year, and then the Discover expires, the promo rate expires in February of next year. if I decide to continue to focus on bulking up the emergency fund, I have laid out all of the payments for those two cards up until just like a couple months before the promo rates expire. So, I can show you that what I've mapped out, so starting with the Wells Fargo, since that would be like next in line. Starting with Wells Fargo, you'll see it's minimum payment, which is above the minimum payment they set for me. My minimum payment, you see that $50. So $50 to Wells Fargo for February, March, April, May. June, we're taking it all the way down to $25. And I'm not sure why I did that, but we're just going to leave that. And then July, $25, August, $50. So by the time August comes around, I'll only have $2,000 remaining. So yes, I can just take the money from the CD and pay it off. As a matter of fact, I made a little note in the side that as of September 1st, I will have $6,500 worth of debt. Obviously, the CD will cover it. I can just wipe it all out. Should I decide not to do that and just continue saving and collecting interest, then I've mapped it out that September, I'll just pay $50. And then for some reason in October, I'll pay it off. I don't know why I did it like that. No, I do know why I did it. I'm funny like that. I'm funny like that. So I don't like paying, and probably a lot of people are like this, I don't like paying large chunks out of my account at once and then watch the balance go down so far. So that's why I did that. So instead of me paying like $6,000 in September from this CD, I decided, well, I'll just kind of filter the money. Like we'll just do little by little. Because then you'll see with that very last credit card, that Discover credit card, every month with the Discover card is very low. February, I'm planning to pay $60, March $80, just to round out that number and get it down to $2,600. And then after that, I'm throwing like $50 in April, $50 in May, $50 in June, $50 in July, $50 in August. So then when September comes, and I've got that CD, I'm just going to pay $100, which will bring that balance for the Discover card to $2,200. Now, I could just pay it all off. Like I said, I could, but I was thinking just to have a larger amount in my account collecting interest. In October, I could pay $50. And then in November, go ahead and pay it off at $2,150. Though that's the payoff plan for the most part. The only difference is if I decide, you know what, I'm done with this, let's just be done. And then go ahead and throw that $6,500 to clear everything in September. That's the only difference. Otherwise, this is how I'll be paying off that debt. And this is how I will be credit card and personal loan debt-free in 23. So there you have it. I don't feel bad anymore. I was, it was hard for me at first when I was like dealing with the extra debt, the extra $7,000 thrown on me after I'd finally got under $10,000. That was a little bit of a hard pill to swallow. Also, what was hard is that when I started this YouTube channel in September, I believe I had about $12,750 worth of debt that I was like showing you guys, hey, everyone, this is how I'm going to pay off my debt. I started with my debt confession and this is how I'm going to pay it off. I'm going to save money. And now, after being on this journey for, 4 months, I'm in more debt than when I started. That's that was hard for me. And so I got really emotional. Pretty excited for this journey. I am so grateful for you all that stopped by and left all of those comments. Each one was encouraging to me. Like, not one of them was lost on me. I really, really did appreciate that, because yeah, I was in a little of a low spot there, but you all helped me to put things into perspective, and that I appreciate. Many of you said, okay, Kim, imagine if you had not have started your debt-free journey and then this happened. And it's like, whoa, yeah, man, I'd be dealing with a lot more debt in this moment, because, I would have just been carrying the debt each month and not really been thinking about it. I would have been paying the payments like I have always done all my life, but not try to pay anything off. And then I would have just, I would have been buried. So that definitely helped me put it into perspective. And then a lot of you also said, Kim, you have to look at all that you have already done in your journey. Like, hello, pat yourself on the back. Look how far you've come. And that, again, yes, that helped me also put things in perspective. Like, whoa, yes. Hey, you're right. And then the comments that were like, you've done this before. You've had $16,000 worth of debt, and then you got it down to 8. Well, when I got it down to 8, it bumped back up to 13, and then I got that down to 9. So, but the point was, hey, you've been here before, you knocked it out before, you're going to do it again. And so thank you for lifting me up, getting me back on the horse, dusting off my knees, blowing wind in my sails. All of you, you know exactly who you are. You know who said what. Thank you. I really did. I really appreciated it. So yeah, I hope you stick around and watch me knock out this $16,000 worth of debt and build that emergency fund. My goal is $20,000 for my family. I like to map out everything. So I'm part of my fire that's burning right now. Part of it is because of you all that got it burning again. And then the other side of it that helped was that I mapped it out, how I can actually save up that money, how I can get to 10 grand this year on my own, outside of anything coming from that CD. And so if all goes well, I should have $10,000 in my checking account in June. So, that's, I don't know. That's cool. In 5 months, I'm hoping to have 10,000 in 5 more months. In my February, March, April, May, June. I should be good with numbers, right? But in 5 more months, I'm hoping to have saved up another $5,000, and to add that to what I have right now, I'm hoping to have $10,000 in June rolling over in my checking account. So we'll see. We'll see. Is that going to happen? I want it like my face. My face wants to burst because I actually want to just smile and pop, because I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can pay off this debt, and I can have a real chunky savings. And if I get that $10,000 in June, you know what? Hey, let's put the bar a little bit lower. Let's say by July. If I can have that $10,000 by July, the 7th month in the year, I am halfway to my emergency fund for my family. That's pretty cool, and be paying off debt. So, let me just tell you, I'm excited. I'm ready. Okay. I'm ready to tackle 2023. I'm back, y'all. I'm pumped. I'm like, yes, I was so excited for this year to come. I got punched in the face with more debt. That wasn't cool. I didn't appreciate that at all. But I'm back. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I can see it. I can see the debt payoff. I can see the chunky savings. I am ready to do this, and I'm ready to show you everything along the way. So, you know what? It might not go as planned. I might veer off course because someone just sideswiped me, and you'll watch me get back on course and keep on going, because that's what it's about. Don't give up. Doesn't matter what monkey wrench is thrown your way. Do not give up. Keep going, because you will meet with success if you don't give up. If you're interested in watching me knock out the $16,000, give me a thumbs up. I will continue to roll out all of my goals, show you every step that I'm making along the way, show you my progress, like how I'm paying off that debt, how close I'm getting, and I'll be showing you my savings and what I have in that, because yes, this is a twofold journey here. So yeah, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join me along with this journey. Watch me knock out the 16 grand worth of debt and watch me build that emergency fund. That would be amazing. Come along for the ride. Next video, I will be rolling out my budget closeout and what I have in store for February. I do have good news with that February budget. So yeah, stick around. I'll see you next time.